Tired of waking up to the same old you, stuck in routines that drain your potential? In this video, grab the exact 1-hour daily blueprint to shatter your old self and rise unbreakable. Welcome to Audiobook World, your masterclass in transformation. Discover how to rewire your mind for unstoppable focus, forge ironclad habits that stick, and build a legacy in just 60 minutes a day. Subscribe now and hit the timestamps below to jump into 12 life-changing chapters. Let's rise. Your new self starts here. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast canyon at dawn. The old you clings to the shadowed cliffs behind, tired habits, lingering doubts, the weight of unfulfilled dreams pulling you back. But ahead, sunlight bursts over the horizon, painting the sky in fiery golds and endless blues. One step forward, and you're free. This is your moment. Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now. What if I told you that just 1 hour a day could shatter those chains? 1 deliberate hour to rebuild yourself stronger, wiser, unbreakable. You've tried quick fixes before. They fade like morning mist. This is different. This is your daily forge, where the old self burns away and a new you rises, fierce and alive. Join me on this journey. 12 chapters, 12 hours of transformation, each one a step across that canyon. Breathe deep. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Mirror of Truth. Imagine this. You stand alone in a dimly lit room, the air thick with the scent of forgotten dreams. Your hand trembles as it reaches for the edge of a massive, ornate mirror. Its surface not glass, but a swirling mist that parts like breath on a winter window. As you gaze in, it's not your face that stares back. It's every version of you that's ever held you back. The child who hid from failure, the young dreamer crushed by first defeats, the adult buried under layers of someday promises. Their eyes lock onto yours, pleading, accusing, whispering the one question that shatters silence. Who are you really? This is no ordinary reflection. This is the mirror of truth, the first portal in your 1-hour daily ritual to rise above the old self. Feel the chill crawl up your spine, the quickening of your pulse. You've avoided this gaze for too long, haven't you? Distracted by the noise of life, the endless scroll of distractions, the comforting lies that keep you small. But right now, in this moment, that ends. Welcome to the awakening. This chapter isn't just words. It's the spark that ignites your core. Lean in, see yourself, and prepare to burn away what no longer serves. The foundation of rising above your old self begins here, in raw, unflinching honesty, that sacred hour you commit each day. It starts with this mirror, not the one on your wall, cold and judgmental, but the one forged in your deepest awareness. Strip away the masks, ask the questions that terrify. What stories have I told myself to stay safe? Which fears have I dressed as facts? Why do I cling to this version of me when it aches like an ill-fitting skin? Let me take you into a life that mirrors your own. There was a man named Elias, a quiet engineer in his late 30s, living what looked like success from the outside, a steady job, a family, a house with a picket fence. But inside, he was hollow. Every morning, he'd splash water on his face, avoiding his eyes in the bathroom mirror. Good enough, he'd mutter, as if repetition made it true. Nights blurred into exhaustion, dreams deferred to when the kids are grown, or after this promotion. Then came the crash, a heart scare at 38, not from disease, but from a life half-lived. In the hospital bed, tubes snaking his arms, Elias finally looked, really looked. He saw the boy who'd wanted to build bridges, not just blueprints, the man who'd traded passion for paycheck security. Discharged, Elias claimed his hour, dawn, before the world stirred. No coffee, no phone, just a notebook and silence. He wrote without mercy. I fear rejection, so I never pitch ideas. I pretend busyness hides my laziness. I let others' opinions carve my path, pages filled, ink bleeding like old wounds. Then, the ritual. He read each line aloud, voice cracking at first, then steadying. Tears fell, but so did the weight. That mirror didn't lie, it freed. Within weeks, Elias pitched his first invention at work. Months later, he launched a side venture. A year on, bridges, real ones, bore his name. Not because the world changed, but because he did. First step. Truth. Now picture your own mirror. Yours might reflect a different story. A career stalled by self-doubt, relationships frayed by unspoken resentments, health slipping through fingers greased by excuses. Or perhaps it's subtler. The artist who sketches in secret, the leader who follows, the parent who dreams quietly while life rushes past. Whatever form it takes, the old self thrives in shadows. Honesty is the light that scorches it clean. In your hour, create this practice. Find a quiet space where interruptions dare not tread. Sit comfortably, spine straight like an arrow ready to launch. Breathe deep. Inhale possibility. Exhale pretense. Take pen to paper or speak to a recorder if words flow freer that way. Start simple. Today, I admit. Let it pour. The fears that masquerade as logic. I'm too old to start. The habits disguised as comfort. Endless evenings lost to screens because facing silence means facing you. The dreams abandoned, that book unwritten, that move unmade, that love unclaimed. Don't rush. Let each truth surface like bubbles from deep water. Feel the sting. It's the old self resisting, clawing for survival. But here's the profound shift. Naming it robs it of power. What was vague, terror becomes concrete lines on a page. Manageable, conquerable. Science echoes this ancient wisdom. Your brain's reticular activating system spotlights what you declare. Declare truth, and opportunities sharpen into focus. Emotions follow. Shame gives way to clarity, anger to resolve, grief to gratitude for the chance to change. Reflect on this. Every great riser in history faced their mirror first. Think of the explorer charting unknown seas, admitting terror before setting sail. The inventor tinkering through 1,000 failures, confessing doubt before the breakthrough. They didn't deny the old self. They dissected it, discarded the rot, rebuilt from the bones. You're no different. This isn't privilege or luck. It's deliberate unveiling. As you practice, layers peel back. First, surface habits. The snooze button surrender. The yes to every demand. Deeper still, inherited beliefs, like success is for others, whispered by a parent's caution. Even deeper, the core wound. Perhaps a childhood slight that convinced you you're unworthy. Face it all. Journal it, speak it, witness it, dissolve. But truth isn't destruction alone. It's creation's dawn. With the old self exposed, space opens for the new. Sketch the outline. Who emerges from these ashes? Stronger resolve, fiercer curiosity, unshakable purpose. Feel that pull, that magnetic draw toward evolution. Elias didn't stop at confession. His hour evolved. After writing truths, he countered each with a vow. I fear rejection became I pitch boldly, learning from every no. Lies transformed to lifelines. His family noticed first, the spark in his eyes, the energy in his step. Colleagues followed, then clients. Truth rippled outward, reshaping his world. Yours will too. This foundation isn't abstract, it's your launchpad. Commit to it daily, and watch synchronicities unfold. books that appear, conversations that ignite, intuitions that guide. The universe conspires with the honest heart. Yet, beware the saboteur within. The mind will whisper, "This hurts too much. Skip tomorrow. Push through." Pain is the forge, persistence the hammer. 1 week in, discomfort fades to familiarity. 1 month, truth becomes ally. Your mirror, no longer enemy, but oracle. As we close this first chapter, hold this image. You, stepping back from the mist, face transformed, not flawless, but fierce with knowing. The old self kneels defeated, while the new rises, eyes alight. You've laid the stone of your ascent. Satisfaction swells, but so does hunger. What happens when you claim time as your throne? When sacred hours rewire your very being? That awaits in Chapter 2. Breathe it in. Your truth has spoken. Now the power begins. Chapter 2. The Power of Sacred Time. Picture a lone samurai at the break of dawn, sword drawn, standing sentinel on a mist-shrouded mountain peak. The world below stirs with chaos, markets clamoring, rivers rushing wild, but up here, in his carved-out hour, time bends to his will. Wind whips his robes, yet he moves with deliberate grace, each breath a command, each strike a vow. This isn't indulgence, it's sovereignty. Feel that power surge through you now. Your sacred hour awaits, not as a luxury, but as the throne from which you rule your destiny. The old self scatters like fog before the sun. Claim it. This is where empires rise within. You face the mirror of truth. Shadows exposed, lies incinerated, but truth alone is a spark. Sacred time fans it into an inferno. This chapter carves the second pillar of your daily rise, the unyielding claim to 1 hour that belongs solely to you, not borrowed from the edges of your day, squeezed like toothpaste from a near-empty tube, but seized with the ferocity of a lion taking its kill. This hour is holy ground, untouchable, inviolable, the forge where your new self takes shape. In a world that devours your minutes with notifications and obligations, this is your rebellion, your declaration of war on mediocrity. Understand this deeply. Time isn't infinite, it's your most finite currency. The old self squanders it in fragments, 5 minutes here, 10 there, watching it evaporate into triviality. But sacred time, it's the alchemist's stone, turning fleeting seconds into monumental change. Monks in ancient temples rose before light, dedicating their dawn hour to contemplation, emerging as beacons of wisdom. Warriors in forgotten eras honed their edge in solitude, birthing legends from disciplined dawn. You are no less. This hour rewires your soul, compounds your strength, multiplies your triumphs. Deny it, and you remain chained. Embrace it, and freedom unfolds. Let me draw you into the life of Kara, a single mother in her early 40s, juggling 2 jobs and 3 kids in a cramped apartment that echoed with exhaustion. Mornings blurred into survival, alarms blared at 5:30, coffee scalded her tongue as she packed lunches, her dreams a thriving bakery of buried under dirty dirties. No time, she sighed nightly, collapsing into bed with Netflix's Glow as her only companion. Then, a quiet epiphany during a rare walk. What if she stole the hour before the world demanded her? 4 a.m., pre-dawn black. No fanfare, just commitment. Kara marked her territory. Kitchen table cleared, phone silenced in a drawer, a single candle flickering like a vow. First days ached, eyes heavy, mind wandering to chores. But she persisted. That hour became her kingdom, sketching recipes, researching suppliers, tasting batters in tiny bowls. No multitasking, no mercy for distractions. 4 weeks in, prototypes lined her counter, 6 months, a pop-up stall at the market. A year later, Kara's Dawn Bakes spanned 3 locations, her laughter filling boardrooms. Not magic, sacred time. Her kids watched a mother reborn, her energy a contagion. What was stolen became her empire's foundation. Now envision your throne. Yours might rise at twilight, when the day's clamor fades, or midnight, when sleep beckons but purpose calls louder. The when matters less than the how. Absolute dominion. Ritualize it. Prepare the night before. Lay out your tools. Dim the lights. Whisper to yourself, "This is mine." Enter with intention, like stepping into a temple. Phone exiled. Doors barred. The world knocks. You don't answer. This boundary isn't selfishness. It's self-preservation, the moat around your growth. Why does it work? Your brain craves ritual. Science reveals the prefrontal cortex thrives in protected focus, dopamine surging as progress stacks. Distractions fracture this, sacred time mends it. Feel the shift, scattered thoughts align, creativity floods. Resolve hardens like cooling steel. The old self protests. Just one email, but ignore it. Each defended minute builds neural fortitude, turning discipline into delight. Deepen the practice. Begin with breath. 4 counts in, hold, 6 out, anchoring you to now. State your purpose aloud. In this hour, I forge my rise. Then, immerse. If creation calls, let ideas cascade without censor. If reflection, probe the day's lessons. Movement, flow with purpose, each step a meditation. The key, singularity, one pursuit, pursued fully. Multitasking is the thief. Focus, your sword. Kara evolved hers. Early hours baked ideas. Later she added voice notes. Dreams spoken into permanence. Synchronicities bloomed. A supplier called from an old contact. Funding appeared through a contest win. Sacred time doesn't just build you, it bends reality toward you. The universe honors the committed, yet resistance lurks. The old self deploys saboteurs, fatigue disguised as wisdom, emergencies that aren't. Counter with grace. Miss a day. Return without whip. Consistency compounds, like a river carving canyons. Track it, a simple calendar. X's marking conquests. Watch streaks ignite pride, momentum unstoppable. Reflect on history's risers. The writer who penned masterpieces in pre-dawn quiet. The innovator tinkering while others slept. They didn't find time, they claimed it. You're wired the same. This hour births leverage, small inputs yielding vast outputs. Health sharpens, relationships deepen from overflow, not scraps. Purpose clarifies, imagine the ripple. Your sacred hour inspires a child, sparks a conversation, seeds a movement. It's not isolation, it's the source from which abundance flows. As this chapter draws breath, hold Kara's candle in your mind, flickering steady against the dark. You've claimed your throne. Truth illuminated, time conquered, satisfaction roots deep, but curiosity stirs. What if you could rewire the mind itself, bending thoughts to victory? That neural revolution beckons in Chapter 3. Step forward, your power deepens. Chapter 3. Rewiring the mind's hidden wires. Envision a vast, ancient forest, at twilight, where towering oaks whisper secrets to the wind. Beneath their roots lies a tangled web of wires, some rusted and frayed, pulsing with echoes of defeat, others gleaming, dormant, waiting for your touch. You kneel in the moss, hands steady, and begin the untangling. Sparks fly as old circuits snap. New pathways ignite with electric fire. Feel that surge course through your veins now, alive, unstoppable. This is your mind's hidden forge. The old self's doubts flicker and die. Welcome to the rewiring, where imagination becomes your greatest weapon and vision carves reality from ether. Truth has stared back from the mirror. Sacred time stands as your unbreachable fortress. Now, in this third pillar of your daily hour, we plunge into the neural depths, rewiring the mind's hidden wires for unbreakable victory. Your brain isn't fixed stone, it's living clay, molded by what you feed it. The old self runs on default loops, fear circuits firing like faulty bulbs, dimming your light. But deliberate visualization, that's the master key. In your sacred hour, you don't just think success, you live it, breathe it, etch it into every synapse. This isn't daydreaming, it's deliberate creation, where the boundary between dream and destiny dissolves. Grasp this truth with both hands. Your mind mirrors elite performers, athletes who taste gold before the race, surgeons who rehearse incisions in silence. Neuroplasticity proves it. Repeated mental rehearsal strengthens pathways as powerfully as physical action. Mirror neurons fire, muscles tense, hormones flood, just as if the triumph were real. The old self chains you to past failures. Rewiring liberates you into futures forged by will. This chapter arms you with the how, vivid, sensory immersion that reprograms from within. Step into the story of Lena, a violinist in her late 20s whose fingers once trembled on stage, haunted by a botched audition that ended her conservatory dreams. Relegated to teaching scales to bored children, she withered, talent rusting like an unused blade. Nights brought replays of that failure, notes souring, judges' frowns searing. "I'm done," she confessed in her mirror hour, but sacred time called deeper. Lena claimed her dawn slot, eyes closed in a dim corner, violin resting beside her. No playing at first, just seeing. She pictured the grand hall, velvet seats filled with expectant faces, spotlight warm on her skin, the bow's rosin scent sharp in her nostrils, felt the strings hum under fingertips, heard applause crashing like waves. Doubts intruded. "You're fooling yourself." But she breathed them out, replayed the triumph. 10 minutes daily expanded, adding textures, the violin's varnish gleam, the conductor's nod, her heart's steady thrum. Weeks in, fingers itched without touch. Months later, she auditioned again. Notes soared pure, judges leaned forward. First chair, symphony orchestra. Not luck. Rewired wire. Your forest awaits. In your hour, after breath anchors you. Close your eyes. Dim the room if you can. Darkness amplifies inner light. Begin broad. See your rise. The promotion handshake firm, ink drying on the contract, or the body transformed, muscles taut, energy boundless as you crest a hill at dawn. Make it sensory explosion, taste victory's salt sweat triumph. Hear cheers or silent pride, smell coffee brewing post-workout, feel fabric of new horizons against skin. Narrow the lens, target one wire, a skill starved, a fear knotted. The public speaker, visualize the podium, voice resonant, audience nodding, questions flowing eager. The entrepreneur, boardroom alive, ideas sparking, deals sealing with signatures sharp. Engage all 5 senses, emotion seals it, joy bubbling, confidence stealing, feel it visceral, not vague. Science whispers confirmation. Studies on pianists show mental practice thickens motor cortex, rivaling keys struck. Your brain can't distinguish vivid imagination from event. Wires reform, limbic system learns safety in boldness, amygdala quiets its alarms, old loops atrophy, new highways blaze. Lena deepened. Post-visualization. She moved, shadow bowing in air. Notes hummed low. Integration fused mental to muscle. Synchronicities followed. An old mentor called opportunities cascaded. her teaching reignited with passion, students blooming under rewired fire. Build your ritual. 5 minutes warm-up. Scan body. Release tension. 15. Full immersion. End with anchoring. Clench fist on imagined peak. Pair with phrase, "This is mine." Replay daily. Variations keep wires fresh. Monday, career leap. Tuesday, health surge. Track in journal. Saw the close, felt the win. Proof builds faith. Resistance rises. Mind's old guard patrols. This is silly. Label it old wire talking. Persist. Friction forges strength. Missed days? Re-enter gently. Compounding residues. Feel the shift. Real life mirrors visions. Conversations flow. Risks feel right. Intuition sharpens. History's giants wielded this. The poet envisioning verses before ink touched page. The leader seeing peace amid war's roar. Their minds rewired, bent worlds. Yours holds equal potency. This hour doesn't chase change. It summons it. Reflect. Lena's bow now leads orchestras. Her forest cleared, symphonies pour. You faced truth, claimed time. Now vision pulses alive. Satisfaction hums, yet deeper currents stir. What if your body joined this rebellion, transforming from within? That physical awakening calls in eyes open wider. The wires hum. Chapter 4. The body's silent rebellion. Feel the ground tremble beneath your feet as you stand atop a jagged cliff, wind howling like a caged beast. Your body, once a reluctant prisoner slumped in chains of neglect, suddenly uncoils, muscles rippling like coiled serpents, lungs expanding to devour the storm itself, sweat beads like diamonds of defiance, heart thundering not in fear, but in raw primal power. The old self tumbles into the abyss below, screaming as it falls. This is your rebellion igniting. Your flesh awakens, not as servant, but as sovereign. Grip this surge. Your 1 hour uprising claims the body now fierce, alive, unbreakable. You've pierced the mirror's truth, enthroned your sacred time, rewired neural fires. The fourth pillar rises from flesh and bone, silencing the body's rebellion against your rise. That old self manifests in sagging posture, shallow breaths, the dull ache of disuse, a silent coup eroding your foundation, while mind soars. No longer. In this hour, you don't just think transformation, you embody it. Movement becomes meditation, strength a sacrament. Your body isn't machine to punish, it's temple to consecrate, vessel to empower every dream. Ignore it, and it betrays. Honor it, and it carries you to peaks unimagined. Embrace this revelation. The body holds wisdom, the mind often misses. Fascia tightens with unprocessed stress. Adrenals fatigue from chronic rush. Mitochondria starve without fuel. The old self ignores these signals, trading vitality for comfort. Couch craters deepening, stairs a battleground. But deliberate motion in your hour? It alchemizes rebellion into alliance. Endorphins flood as allies. Testosterone and growth hormone forge armor. Nervous system recalibrates to resilience. This isn't gym drudgery, it's ritual reclamation, where every stretch, lift, stride rewrites your physical story. Enter the world of Victor, a desk-bound accountant pushing 50, whose mirror revealed not just a paunch, but a prison. Years of ledgers and lunches outpaced walks, leaving him winded, climbing stairs, joints protesting like rusty hinges. Too late for me, he grumbled, popping pills for back pain that masked deeper despair. A doctor's blunt verdict, pre-diabetes, heart strain, shattered denial. In his sacred hour, post-truth and vision, Victor chose body. No flashy gym, his living room sufficed. Dawn light filtering through blinds, he began. Simple fury, bodyweight squats, slow and deep, thighs burning like forges, push-ups from knees at first, chest opening to sky. Then flow Tai Chi waves blending breath to bend, spine uncoiling like a waking dragon. 20 minutes motion, 10 breathwork, belly deep, ribs expanding, exhales purging stagnation. Pain flared, old injuries whispering quit, but he leaned in whispering back, "You serve me now," weeks blurred. Energy replaced fog, shirts loosened, stairs conquered 2 at a time. Months on, Victor ran trails at sunrise, pitching fitness audits to clients. 55 now, he deadlifts his bodyweight, vitality a beacon. Rebellion silenced, body allied. Craft your uprising. Anchor in your hour. Post-visualization, transition seamless. Stand, shake limbs loose like shedding skin. Choose intuitive fire. If rage simmers, pound air with shadow punches, feet stamping earth. Yearning freedom, stride brisk outdoors, arms pumping, world blurring to rhythm. Strength calls, squat to rise, plank to endure, hold till tremble births triumph. No weights needed, gravity yields. Lay a breath as bridge. Inhale power through nose, filling belly then chest. Exhale surrender, tension dissolving. Sink motion, lift on inhale, release on out. Feel alchemy. Cortisol crashes, serotonin rises, vagus nerve hums harmony. Science affirms. High-intensity intervals spike BDNF. Brain's fertilizer. Yoga restores autonomic balance. Your hour compounds. Day 1, awkward effort. Week 10, fluid grace. Victor's ritual deepened. He tracked pulses, resting heart, dropping 10 beats. Sleep profound. Food shifted instinctively. Nuts over chips. Greens fueling fire. Synchronicities bloomed. A running group formed. Posture drawing compliments. Confidence spilling into boardrooms. Body rebellion quelled. It amplified every pillar. Sharper focus, vivid visions, truths bolder voiced. Fortify against revolt. Old self-temps, rest today, soreness means stop. Reframe, discomfort signals growth, like forge heat-bending iron. Hydrators ritual, water alive with lemon, cells cheering, fuel post-hour, protein, fats. Colors vibrant, sleep guards gains dark room, rhythm sacred. Ritualize variety. Monday power, Wednesday flow, Friday endurance. Listen inward, body speaks. Tight hips, hip circles. Heavy limbs, light walks. Intuition guides when templates fail. History echoes. Nomads traversed deserts on foot-forged endurance. Artisans sculpted marble with creolist hands. Their bodies, attuned, enabled epochs. Yours pulses equal potential. This hour doesn't mend, it evolves. Ponder Victor cresting hills, wind in lungs expanded, old pains memory, truth claimed, time held, mind wired, body risen. Fulfillment courses deep, yet veins pulse for more. What if words became your wand, shaping destiny with spoken fire? That verbal alchemy awaits in Chapter 5. Rise taller, the rebellion bows. Chapter 5. Words that forge destiny. Hear the thunder roll across a storm-lashed plain, where a single voice rises, raw, resonant, cutting through gale and shadow like a blade of light. Words spill from your lips, not whispers, but declarations etched in fire. Mountains crumble, skies part. The old self dissolves into vapor. Feel that vibration rumble in your chest, power uncoiling like a dragon long chained. This is no mere speech, it's sorcery. Your tongue wields the hammer, destiny the anvil. Speak now, and worlds bend. The fifth pillar ignites. Words that forge your fate from the forge of your hour. Truth unveiled, time enthroned, mind rewired, body risen, Now language becomes your alchemist. The old self mumbles defeat in halftones, eroding will like acid rain. But power words, they sculpt reality, vibrating through ether to summon what you command. In this sacred hour, speech shifts from habit to holy rite. Not empty chants, but visceral truths roared from the diaphragm, reprogramming cells, aligning universe. Words aren't decoration, they're creators, blueprints breathed into being. Master them and the new self commands legions. Seize this wisdom. Linguistics reveals phonemes shape thought. Neuroscience shows vocalization strengthens resolve, bypassing doubt's filters. Affirmations rooted in gut truth. Flood, oxytocin, cement belief. The old self's vocabulary imprisons can't, try, maybe loops of limitation, forge yours. Present tense, sensory rich, emotionally charged. Speak them standing, chest open, eyes fierce to mirror. Feel resonance, build neural bridges, old scripts overwritten. Walk with Sophia, a nurse in her mid-30s, frayed by endless shifts in fluorescent hell. Dreams of her own clinic, faded under fluorescent hums, muttered defeats her companion. Patience first, always too tired. Colleagues thrived. She stagnated, resentment festering like untreated wounds. Mirror truth exposed exhaustion as self-betrayal. Sacred hour called. After motion's fire, she stood before dawn window. Voice tentative at first. I am the healer, others seek. She began. Words clumsy on tongue. Deeper. My hands mend with precision and care. Energy flows boundless through me. Pauses let them land. Chest rising. Conviction warming. Doubt snarled. Liar, but she repeated. Volume rising till echo filled room. Layered specifics. Doors open to my practice. Clients arrive grateful. Abundance sustains. 15 minutes daily. Words her sword. Synapses sparked. Posture lifted. Weeks on, she enrolled in business courses. Months later, Sophia Wellness bloomed. Waiting lists long. Her voice steady in consultations. Words didn't wish. They will. Build your forge. Post-body right. Transition. Stand tall. Feet rooted. Hands open, palms up. Receiving your own power. Begin breath. Inhale declarations fuel. Exhale old echoes. Craft phrases, personal, potent. Probe pains first. I release fear of scarcity, then positives. Creativity surges through me effortlessly. Speak aloud. Slow then building crescendo. Mirror gaze locks intent. Record playback cements. Evolve. Morning anchors resolve. Today I act with unyielding courage. Evening reviews triumphs. I connected deeply, wisdom guided. Pair gesture, fist pump. On peak words, anchoring kinesthetic. Science nods. Vocal prosody boosts amygdala regulation. Self-efficacy soars. Feel alchemy. Spoken abstract becomes tangible, pulling opportunities like magnet. Sophia layered, walked neighborhood declaring visions, clinic facade vivid, laughter spilling doors. Strangers smiled more, leads trickled. Resistance hit, hypocrite, no proof yet, met with grace. Truth precedes evidence. Her voice deepened timber. Patience noted calm authority, words rippled. Staff inspired, family shifted dynamics. Defend the right. Old self deploys silence, embarrassment's cloak. Counter privacy first, if needed, then boldness. Track shifts. Journal post-speech. Felt surge, noticed synchronicity. Consistency compounds. Day 30. Words flow automatic. Reality conforms. Amplify. Question form. What if abundance is my norm? Stirs subconscious. Gratitude weaves. I honor my body's strength. Variety prevents rote. Monday career, Tuesday relations. Intuit daily need. Anger. I channel fury to fuel. Legends whispered incantations before battle. Poets birthed movements with verse. Their words, destiny's architects. Yours equals. This hour transmutes air to empire. Envision Sophia's clinic thriving, her voice echoing halls, patients healed, legacy sown, truth claimed, time held, mind wired, body strong, words wielded, power thrums complete, yet sparks fly onward. What if focus turned laser, action compounding dreams to deeds? That concentrated blaze awaits. Chapter 6. Speak it alive. Destiny yield. Chapter 6. The fire of focused action. A single arrow loosed in the dead of night slices through absolute darkness, finding its mark unerring on a distant target, aglow with destiny's flame. No scatter of shots, no wavering flight, just pure, unrelenting trajectory. Feel that bowstrings snap against your forearm, the rush of wind yielding to your will, the target's heart pierced clean. Distractions shatter like brittle glass in the wake. This is focus incarnate, your sixth pillar blazing. The old self's frenzy dissolves. Action laser sharp, births empires from the void of your sacred hour. Knock your arrow. Release. Worlds shift. Truth confessed. Time sanctified. Mind rewired. Body empowered. Words commanded. Now the sixth forge opens. The fire of focused action. Dreams perish not from lack of vision, but diffusion energy splintered across 10 half-hearted pursuits, yielding nothing but exhaustion. The old self multitasks into oblivion, chasing squirrels while mountains loom untouched. But in this hour singularity reigns, one task, pursued with monastic intensity, needle-piercing haystack to core. This isn't busy work, it's alchemy, where undivided attention transmutes effort into exponential mastery. Action compounds silently, like roots cracking stone. Hold this revelation close. Flow state, psychology's holy grail, activates when challenge meets skill in undistracted immersion. Prefrontal chatter quiets. Time warps. Output soars tenfold. Multitasking, mythic thief, costing 40% efficiency per switch. Your hour demands purity. Identify the high-leverage move, the proposal drafted, code debugged, outreach sent and surrender wholly. No tabs open, no glances aside. Focus forges not just results, but identity. The doer emerges. Journey with Ramon, a graphic designer in his early 30s, adrift in a sea of unfinished projects. Freelance gigs piled like driftwood logos, half-sketched, websites abandoned mid-wireframe, while bills gnawed and imposter syndrome festered. Too many ideas, he'd lament, flitting from app to app till midnight bled into regret. Sacred hour beckoned after words declaration, post-speech fire, timer set at 25 minutes. Pomodoro's pulse, but fiercer. Ramon chose ruthlessly. Today's needle, one client's branding suite, door locked, screen sole light, phone entombed. Pen flew, curves bold, colors alive, mind tunnel visioned, world erased. Doubts proud, not perfect yet, banished with breath. Done is fuel, 25 minutes yielded prototype, break-walked ideas loose. Next burst refined. Hour closed, packet emailed, client thrilled. Next dawn, momentum snowballed, streaks built portfolio, rates doubled, agency offers flowed. Ramon, once scattered artist, now studio lead. Focus is unseen superpower. Ignite your fire. Transition fluid. After declarations, scan tasks. Ask what moves the mountain most. Write it singular. Outline Chapter 3. Timer merciless. 20 to 50 minutes. Your arrow's flight. Environment sacred. Desk cleared as altar, noise cancelled if needed. Posture predatory. Dive, hands to work, eyes locked, flow claiming you. Urges intrude. Check news. Label. Release. Return amplified. Deepen immersion. Pre-focus ritual. 3 deep breaths. Palms rub heat at eyes. I enter the zone. Post-burst. Stand. Stretch victory. Note wins crisp. Nailed pitch. Clarity peaked. Science affirms. Ultradian rhythms peak focus in 90-minute waves. Your hour harnesses prime. Dopamine from completion loops. Addiction to depth, not distraction. Ramon's evolution scaled to marathons. 1-hour deep dives, birthing campaigns whole. Synchronicities surged. Referrals from focused outreach. Collaborations magnetized. Resistance met mastery. Overwhelm reframed, prioritize ruthlessly. His apartment transformed studio. Life canvas, deliberate. Guard the flame. Old self scatters. Notifications as sirens. Counter-batch them post-hour. Apps blocked preemptively. Perfectionism lurks. Revise forever. Ship imperfect. Iteration follows. Track fire logs. Tasks conquered. Insights gleaned. Weeks yield pattern. Capacity expands. Old limits laughable. Infuse variety. Monday creation, Thursday refinement, Sunday synthesis. Intuit, flow triggers. Music instrumental if sparks, silence if submerges. Pair with prior pillars. Visualize task success. Pre-dive. Declare midway momentum mine. Ancients knew. Craftsmen honed one blade to perfection before the armory. Explorers charted single bearings true amid tempests. Their focus, legends root. Yours pulses identical fire. This hour doesn't labor, it launches. See Ramon unveiling murals citywide, arrow after arrow true, scattered dreamer, now master architect, pillars stack mighty. Truth, time, mind, body, words, now actions blaze. Triumph resonates, yet embers glow hotter. What if gratitude unlocked hidden vaults of abundance? That golden transmutation calls Chapter 7. Aim true, the target nears. Chapter 7. Gratitude's hidden alchemy. Witness a shadowed alchemist's lair deep in mounting caverns, where leaden lumps of despair glow under flickering torchlight. With a whispered incantation, ordinary hands touch them. Gold veins spiderweb outward, transmuting base metal into radiant treasure that lights the endless dark. Feel that warmth spread from fingertips to core, heavy burdens lifting like feathers on an updraft. This is no myth, it's your inheritance. The old self gropes in gloom. Gratitude ignites the philosopher's stone within your hour. Touch the lead, watch it shine. The 7th pillar awakens. Alchemy that turns pain to boundless wings. Truth bared, time claimed, mind reshaped, body fortified, words empowered, action honed. Now gratitude emerges as the golden crucible. The old self fixates on lacks, magnifying voids until abundance starves. Losses loom giant, gifts shrink invisible. But in this sacred hour, perspective pivots. Gratitude isn't polite thanks. It's perceptual sorcery, rewiring scarcity to overflow. Neuroscience unveils it. Naming appreciations floods the nucleus accumbens with dopamine, ventral striatum lighting like reward circuits in lovers' brains. This pillar doesn't deny hardship, it extracts its essence, forging resilience from residue. Every breath becomes bounty. Anchor deep. Chronic complaint carves neural ruts of negativity bias. Evolutionary relic, favoring threats over treasures. Gratitude interrupts, pruning thorns, cultivating roses, not surface nice-to-haves, but visceral immersion. Feel the gift's texture, its flavor on tongue of soul. Your hour demands this shift, not once, but compounded daily, turning life's ledger from deficit to dividend. Enter Mira's forge. A widow in her late 40s, ashes of her world scattered by sudden loss. Husband gone, home foreclosed, 2 teens adrift in grief's fog. Mornings choked on why me, bills clawing, loneliness of eyes, sacred hour post-actions blaze found her slumped. Journal blank, then a spark. Not ignore pain, but mine it. She began small. This mug's warmth cradles my hands. Deeper. My daughter's laugh pierced dawn today. Visceral. Recall texture, steam curling, ceramic smooth, sound bubbling joy echoing hollow rooms. Expanded. 3 anchors daily. Bodies quiet miracles, lungs drawing free air, connections, friends text lifeline, growth edge, grief honing empathy. Spoke them slow, eyes closed, body swaying as energy transmuted. Tears mixed thanks, lead softened, weeks yielded shift. Opportunities glinted. Part-time counseling gig from shared story. Community garden plot yielding first harvest. Months on, Mira's grief to grace workshops filled rooms. Her home rebuilt on rented soil turned sanctuary. Alchemy complete. Losses dross. Purest gold. Invoke yours. Post-focus fire. Settle spine easy. Palms skyward. Breathe gratitude's rhythm. Inhale gift. Exhale lack. Probe layers. Sensory first. Sun's heat on skin revives. Relational, colleagues nod, fueled my pitch. Existential. This breath bridges yesterday to tomorrow, 3 to 5. No more depth over volume. Feel embodiment. Smile, genuine chest expand. Tears welcome as polish. Evolve immersion. Evening variant. Replay days hidden gems. Stranger's courtesy eased rush. Morning primes, anticipate. Today's challenges gift growth. Pair touch, hand over heart. I receive fully. Studies confirm. 8 weeks, reshape default mode network. Positivity default. Synchronicities cascade. Doors creak open. Intuitions bloom accurate. Mira wove deeper. Walked trails, naming Earth's generosity, bark rough under palm, bird song layered symphony, ripple touched family, teens mirrored thanks bonds mended, resistance surfaced, pain too raw met tenderly. Even this teaches, her voice steadied, presence magnetic, clients healed through witnessed alchemy. Shield the gold. Old self scoffs. Fake it? No. Authenticity key. Force breeds backlash. Start minuscule if vast voids gape. Feet carry me steady. Track ledger. Notebook columns. Gifts noted. Feelings traced. Patterns emerge. Capacity swells. Old lacks fade spectral. Infuse nuance. Shadow gratitude. This setback clarifies path. Future weave. I welcome tomorrow's unknowns as teachers. Variety sustains. Monday body, Wednesday connections, Friday unseen blessings. Intuit call. Exhaustion. Rest's embrace restores. Sages across eras distilled essence. Thus, herbalists thanked soil's yield before harvest. Navigators saluted stars amid storms. Their alchemy, survival's art. Yours pulses innate. This hour doesn't gloss, it gleams. Behold Mira tending workshops. Gold radiating from once lead heart loss, transmuted legacy luminous. Pillars, tower, truth to action, now gratitude's glow. Contentment pools deep, yet veins quicken. What chains bind your ascent, disguised as loyalty? That discerning severance beckons. Touch deeper. The gold multiplies. Chapter 8. The chains of toxic ties. See iron chains forged in the fires of old loyalties, draped heavy across your shoulders, links etched with faces, smiling yet dragging, voices sweet yet sabotaging. You grip one, muscles straining, and with a roar that echoes through cavernous halls, it snaps, shards flying like liberated stars, weight vanishing into dust. Feel lightness flood your limbs, flight beckoning from grounded earth. The old self stumbles free. True allies circle like eagles on thermals. This is your severance, sharp and sacred. The eighth pillar rises, discerning the chains of toxic ties, broken in your hour's unyielding light. Truth excavated, time sovereign, mind alchemized, body vital, words potent, action fierce, gratitude golden. Now we confront the invisible anchors, relationships that masquerade as support while siphoning your ascent. The old self clings to them from guilt's grip. Fear of solitude, echoes of family first, twisted into self-harm. Toxic ties aren't always malice, often comfort's slow poison. Drainers disguised as friends, critics cloaked in care, enablers feeding inertia. In this hour you audit without mercy, prune without apology. Boundaries aren't walls, they're wings. Liberation demands compassionate cuts, freeing energy for souls who elevate. Grasp this core. Emotional contagion spreads. Proximity to low vibration pulls you downward, mirroring mirror neurons firing in toxic echo. High achievers curate circles ruthlessly. Studies show networks predict success more than IQ. Your hour illuminates who energizes, who exhausts. Loyalty to growth trumps blood or history. Severance heals, not hate. Space invites reciprocity, true kinship. Meet Theo, a software engineer nearing 40, shackled by a pack of college buddies turned anchors. Beers weekly devolved to complaint fests. Jobs suck, dreams died, his ambitions mocked as Theo's phase. Promotions passed him, their cynicism seeped, stalling his startup code. Sacred hour post-gratitude glow, revealed chains. Post-audit journal stark, they dim my fire, I dim theirs. No confrontation, quiet fade. Texts unanswered, invites declined politely. Swamped with projects, freedom's rush. Evenings reclaimed for coding marathons. Energy electric, solitude first. Uncomfortable echo, then magnets drew. Online forums birthed collaborators. Coffee chats with mentors sparked equity deals. Theo's app launched viral bros, faded ghosts. New circle doers, dreamers, fueled boardrooms, retreats alive with strategy. Severance wasn't loss, multiplication. Audit yours. Post-alchemy breath. List unsparing, 10 closest ties. Columns dual energizes my rise. Drains or doubts. Mark honest, red for anchors, green for wings. Red flags vivid, chronic negativity, boundary breaches, joy killers masked advice. Feel truth sting, that's chain link cracking. Act deliberate, compassionate distance. Responses sparse, meetings rarefied. Love catching up, life's pulling me. No explanations owed, energy sacred. Lock drains digital mutes, unfollows as moats. Invite greens deeper, shared hours, mutual sparks. Theo ritualized weekly review, circle shifted. Energy flows, synchronicities bloomed. Investor from forum, partner mirroring drive. Resistance howled. Alone now, met with proof. Solitude seeds sovereignty. Family nuanced, distant love, not proximity poison. Fortify. Old self-guilts. Unkind. Reframe. Self-care ripples kindness. Your light inspires their potential paths. Boundaries spoken firm. Appreciate concern. Charting my course. Track liberation. Journal pre-post energy. Capacities surging. Nuance, shadows. Some redeemable, honest talks. Value you, need space for growth. Outcomes vary. Honor results. Solo phases build discernment. Intuition, Hon's ally radars. Variety sustains. Monthly circle maps evolve. Visionaries pruned thus. Artists shunned critics for muses. Leaders traded sycophants for challengers. Their orbits, ascents fuel, yours innate. This hour doesn't isolate, it illuminates kin. Envision Theo's launch party. Eagles soaring amid toasts. Chains dust, wings widespread. Pillars ascend, foundations firm. Now relations refined. Liberation breathes free, yet horizons expand. What endless vistas await through ceaseless learning. That knowledge quest summons. Chapter 9. Chains fall. Soar higher. Chapter 9. Learning's endless horizon. Gaze upon an infinite horizon, where earth kisses sky in shimmering haze. A lone figure, unfurling sails on a vessel carved from curiosity's wood. Winds of wisdom howl fierce, propelling through tempests of the unknown, each wave crashing revelations that expand the soul's vastness. Feel salt spray sting your face, decks creaking under newfound weight of worlds conquered. The old self cowers at shore's edge. You surge forward, captain of ceaseless discovery. This is learning unbound, your ninth pillar cresting. Horizons beckon endlessly. Hoist sail in your hour, the voyage transforms. Truth stripped bare, time enthroned, mind rewired, body awakened, words wielded, action ignited, gratitude alchemized, ties purified. Now learning surges as the boundless sea. Stagnation festers like becalmed waters, rotting the dreamer's hull. The old self drifts in familiar shallows, skills rusting unused, but deliberate devouring of knowledge. Its propulsion, expanding capacity exponentially. In this sacred hour, you're not passive consumer, active hunter, dissecting texts, probing podcasts, forging skills that stretch your edges raw. Learning isn't accumulation, it's evolution, where every insight widens your world's rim. Embrace this eternal truth. Neurogenesis thrives on novelty. Hippocampus births neurons amid challenge. Prefrontal cortex sharpens through synthesis. Compound it daily. 1 hour yields mastery arcs unseen in scattered study. The old self fears overwhelm, hoarding later. Your horizon demands now deliberate, deep, applied. Curiosity as compass, ignorance as fuel. This pillar catapults you beyond plateaus, turning novices to navigators. Sail with Nadia, a retail manager in her early 30s, marooned in fluorescent aisles, dreams of marketing mastery drowned in inventory counts. Evenings skimmed headlines, retention zero overloaded, under-absorbed, sacred hour post-circle refinement, litter course, post-audit clarity screamed, skill gap. She chose digital marketing podcasts queued, notebook armed, no binge, surgical dives, 20 minutes absorption, episode on SEO dissected, notes hierarchical, questions scrawled, how rank signals work, 10 minutes synthesis, mind map connections to store sales, 20 application, drafted mock campaign for shop window, voice aloud, key takeaways, intent matches content, resistance battered, too technical, shattered by micro wins. First A/B test idea sparked, manager nod, weeks compounded, analytics course devoured, freelance gigs tested live. Month sailed, Nadia jumped agencies, heading campaigns 6 figures strong. Horizon endless, her vessel swift. Chart yours. Transition seamless. Post-tie reflection. Select wind a skill calling loudest. Negotiation. Code basics. Public poise. Source potent. Book chapter. Expert talk. Tutorial crisp. Environment primed. Earbuds seal. Posture alert. Pen alive. Begin active. Pause every 5 minutes. Summarize aloud. This means question relentlessly. Application here, counter-arguments, deepen currents. Feynman technique. Explain as to child. Growth hacking simplifies user loops thus. Spaced repetition apps anchor. Flash key terms post-hour. Application seals. Immediate microtask. Pitch this insight tomorrow. Brain lights. Dopamine from mastery loops addiction to growth. Myelin sheaths speed. Nadia navigated deeper. Themed weeks. Monday strategy. Thursday tools. Synchronicities crested. Link in comment. Birthed mentorship. Side project won awards. Old self wind. No degree rebutted. Masters learn daily. Her team absorbed osmosis. Promotions cascaded. Anchor the fleet. Resistance storms. Boredom signals depth needed. Switch sources vivid. Overwhelm. Chunk one concept conquered. Track log. Absorbed X. Applied Y. Insights aid. Patterns propel. Capacity doubles quarterly. Infuse layers. Cross-pollinate. Psychology to sales. History to code. Futurecast. This unlocks what door? Community whispers. Formers query post-dive. Networks expand. Variety fuels. Audiobooks dawn. Visuals dusk. Wayfarers of yore. Mapped stars thus. Cartographers traced uncharted coasts. Polymaths wove disciplines to revolutions. Their horizons, legacies span. Yours breathes free. This hour doesn't study, it soars. Picture Nadia helming boardrooms, sails full retail shores, distant memory, empires charted, pillars crest mighty, foundations to knowledge see, expansion thrills core, yet thunder rumbles. What tempests test this vessel, forging unbreakable hull? That resilience forge awaits. Chap sails billow. Horizons call. Chapter 10. Resilience in the storm. Lightning cracks the velvet sky above a raging sea. Waves towering like vengeful titans, slamming against your vessel's hull. You grip the wheel, salt-lashed face defiant, as thunder roars your name, not in fury, but forge fire. Boards creak, sails tear, yet you steer true, emerging from the maelstrom with hull scarred but unbreakable, horizon clear once more. Feel that salt etch your skin, muscles burn with unyielding purpose, the storm's heart yielding to yours. The old self drowns in first gales. You rise, captain of chaos. This is resilience forged, your 10th pillar thundering. Storms brew eternal, meet them in your hour. The core hard, truth confronted, time mastered, mind alchemized, body tempered, words summoned, action blazed, gratitude transmuted, ties severed, knowledge vastened. Now resilience stands as the unyielding keel. Adversity isn't assault, it's anvil hammering fragility to fortitude. The old self fractures at first blow, job loss, betrayal, health's betrayal, curling fetal in defeat's tide. But in this sacred hour, you preempt the gale, visualize tempests, rehearse emergence, mine failures for awe. Resilience isn't absence of pain, it's alchemy amid it, where setbacks cede supremacy. Your vessel doesn't evade waves, it rides them higher. Claim this bedrock. Anti-fragility. Nassim's wisdom veiled, thrives on disorder, stresses building not just bounce back but breakthrough. Cortisol sharpens when channeled, Post-traumatic growth rewires 70% of survivors stronger. Your hour inoculates, not passive endurance, but active rehearsal, turning if to when I conquer. Storms reveal, preparation prevails. Stand with Harlan, a builder in his mid-40s, foundations cracked by life's quake, business tanked in recession, marriage splintered, back surgery sidelining swings of hammer. Ruined, he rasped from hospital bed, mirrors mocking wasted frame, sacred hour, post-horizons winds found him, post-learning surge, he chose stormcraft, no optimism fluff, raw rehearse. Eyes shut, he summoned gales, firm shuttered, wife gone, pain lancing spine, felt gut punch breathe through, name emotion, fear raw yet fleeting, replay pivot, debts listed, skills inventoried, carpentry to consulting, visualize outreach, calls made, contracts inked, body rehabbed swing by swing, failures mined, past busts dissected, overexpanded, now lean, voice affirmations mid-storm, chaos carves clarity, 20 minutes daily, tempests tamed, real gale hit, client defaulted, yet Harlan pivoted seamless, side gigs scaled, year on, Harlan builds resilient crews, city rehabs, his laugh booming sights, storms shaped oak, forge yours, transition bold, post-knowledge breath, invoke gale, bring worst, I ready, journal tempests probable, rejection cascade, health relapse, sensory dive, feel boardroom silence heavy, gut clench, then counter, shoulders square, voice steady. Next opportunity mine, rehearse sequence, pause, assess, what serves rise, act deliberate, end anchor, fist to chest. I emerge evolve, deepen the keel, failure autopsy ritual, recall busts past, lost bid, rushed prep, now refine, reframe narrative, hero's arc, not victim's dirge, body integrate, tense storm muscles, release triumph, nervous system learns calm command, science seals, exposure therapy desensitizes amygdala, prefrontal reins, Harlan layered, weekly storm drills, phone roleplay rejections, body weight holds mimicking pain, synchronicities stormed in, old rival hired him consultant, crew bonded unbreakable, resistance bayed, pain proves weakness, silenced pain polishes blade, his family mended watching father's steel, bulwark the core, old self flees, avoid risk, counter, controlled exposure builds, track resilience log, faced X, grew Y, patterns steel, blows glance laughs, nuance, rest post-rehearsal, nerves recharge, stormcraft variants, Monday career gales, Thursday relational rifts, intuit, brewing clouds, preempt with hours drill, allies echo, share rehearsals, mutual forge, survivors etched history thus, shipwrecks birthed navigators, exiles spawned empires, their resilience, legend's spine, yours surges innate. This hour doesn't weather, it will. Envision Harlan's crews, raising towers amid rains, storms allies now, oak unbowed, pillars pinnacle near foundations to fortitude steel. Invincibility courses veins, yet fires leap higher. What blazing vision crowns this core, that destiny draft, summons Chapter 11. Winds shift, the summit gleams. Chapter 11. Vision's burning flame, atop a windswept peak. Where clouds part like veils before a coronation, you cup flames in your palms, tongues of fire, leaping vivid, illuminating a sprawling vista of futures woven from will. Mountains of achievement rise sharp, rivers of purpose carve deep valleys, cities of legacy pulse with your heartbeat's rhythm. Feel heat lick your skin, shadows retreat, the old self's driftwood igniting to ash in the blaze. This isn't fantasy, it's blueprint, etched eternal, the 11th pillar crowned vision's burning flame, kindled fierce in your sacred hour. Ignite it now, destiny drafts to your desire. Truth forged, time ruled, mind sculpted, body armored, words invoked, action struck, gratitude refined, ties elevated, knowledge deepened, resilience steeled. Now vision emerges as the guiding pyre. The old self meanders, rudderless through fog, settling for shores of sufficiency. But crystalline foresight, it magnetizes reality, pulling disparate threads into tapestry of triumph. In this hour, you don't wish, you architect. Sensory-rich panoramas that imprint subconscious, compelling universes alignment. Vision isn't distant dream, it's daily draft, flame that lights every step. Seize this luminous law. Reticular activating system scans for matches to vivid intent. Opportunities bloom where focus flames. Elite visionaries, CEOs, charting empires, artists birthing masterpieces, live futures daily, neurons priming action. Your hour consecrates this. Not vague hopes, but multisensory mandates. Emotion infused to indelible. Flame burns away drift. Purpose propels. Ascend with Layla, a teacher in her late 30s. Classrooms her cage. Passion for curriculum design buried under grading drudgery. Someday sighed amid stacks. Life leaking into lesson plans, uninspired. Sacred hour, post-resilience drills. Unveiled void, no North Star, post-storm craft. She seated cross-legged, eyes sealed, palms cradling imagined fire. Flame kindled broad. School transformed, innovative halls buzzing, her modules adopted nationwide. Narrowed visceral, sensed polished wood desk, children's eager queries echoing, ink drying on publisher's contract, champagne fizz on launch night, pride swelling chest like dawn's first light, scents fresh paper, coffee steam, sounds applause rippling, mentors proud. You did it, textures, leather chair embrace, pen satisfying click, emotion peaked, joy tears, fulfillment's warm flood. Doubts flickered, unrealistic fanned out by repetition. This pulls me forward, 20 minutes daily, vision vividified, synchronicity sparked, grant opportunity surfaced, prototype piloted successfully, year burned bright. Layla's Spark Learn series in thousands of schools, her flame leading conferences, vision drafted, reality rendered. Fan your pyre, transition seamless, post-resilience anchor, hands form cradle. I hold my flame. Breathe life. Inhale possibility. Exhale haze. Blueprint core. Probe soul's call. What legacy lingers? Layers build. Decade vista first. Milestones cascading. Then near-term anchors. 6 months. First client secured. Sensory saturate. See colors sharp. Hear dialogues crisp. Taste victories. Bittersweet. Touch outcomes tangible, smell successes, sweat-earned bloom, emotion seals, let exhilaration course, certainty root, amplify blaze. Anchor gesture, palms press imagined blueprint to heart, absorbed eternal, voice overlay, this future claims me now, journal etch, sketch scenes, dates, sensations, tangible talisman, science ignites. Amygdala tags emotional visions, high priority, basal ganglia automates aligned choices. Layla fanned wider, dawn visions fueled day, curriculum tweaks mirrored modules, evenings network blueprint contacts, resistance smoldered, too grand, extinguished, Scale matches soul. Her students ignited, colleagues collaborated, family celebrated. Architect. Preserve the fire. Old self. Dims. Adjust to reality. Counter. Reality bends to bold flame. Track manifestations. Soar contract. Now draft. Quarterly refine. Evolve without erasing core. Nuance flares. Personal weave. Family thriving amid rise. Global ripple. Impact scaled. Variance sustain. Monday legacy. Thursday intimate joys. Intuit fuel dim. Revisit wins past. Trailblazers drafted thus. Inventors sketched impossibles into factories. Reformers envisioned equity amid oppression. Their flames epochs light. Yours blazes innate. This hour doesn't gaze, it grips. Behold, Layla keynoting arenas. Flame cities risen classrooms, distant spark. Empires edified. Pillars converge supreme, foundations to foresight's pyre. Destiny pulses alive, yet crescendo builds. What eternal legacy seals this symphony? That final triumph echoes. Chapter 12. Flame roars, the peak awaits. Chapter 12. The legacy of daily triumphs. Stand at the crest of a timeless mountain, surveying valleys carved by relentless rivers of choice, where your footprints etch indelible paths, villages thriving below, children tracing your steps with wide-eyed wonder, echoes of your voice, carrying on winds that shape generations. Feel the stone warm under palms, sun crowning your brow, the old self's fragments scattered like conquered dust at your feet. This isn't endpoint, it's eternal ripple. You've crossed the abyss. The 12th pillar eternalizes, legacy woven from daily triumphs, sustained in your sacred hour. Claim it. The world inherits your rise. Truth shattered illusions. Time became throne. Mind forged new paths. Body rebelled no more. Words commanded realms. Action struck true. Gratitude turned dross to gold. Ties lifted high. Learning stretched horizons. Resilience tamed tempests. Vision blazed the way. Now legacy crowns the edifice. The old self lived for self alone. Ripples fleeting as footprints in sand. But triumphs compounded daily birth inheritance. Not monuments of marble, but lives ignited. Chains broken in others. Purposes awakened through your quiet fire. In this final hour, reflect not on glory seized, but impact sown. Legacy as living legacy, perpetuated beyond breath. Embrace this culminating wisdom. Mirror neurons propagate your essence. Witnessed resolve inspires imitation. Your hours discipline modeled in silent magnetism. Quantum entanglement of souls. One rise cascades, multiplying through service. The old self hoards ascent. Yours broadcasts it, turning personal forge to communal flame. This pillar integrates all. Hour now serves not just you, but the unseen heirs of your light. Witness Javier, a mechanic in his 50s, garage's lifelong grind. Hands blackened yet dreams of youth. Mentoring apprentices, buried under wrenches and overtime. Peaks scaled. Business stabilized post-storms. Crew loyal post-pruning. Sacred hour post-vision's pyre. Unveiled pinnacle. For whom this climb? Post-flame cradle he shifted gaze outward. Journal probed. Who shadows my steps? Who needs my sparks? Listed ripples. Nephew adrift. Apprentice fumbling engines. Community kids eyeing streets. Hour reorchestrated. 20 minutes legacy map. Teach one skill weekly. 10 synthesis. My failures, their shortcuts. 30 serve. Calls placed. Garage opened post hours. Wrenches handed. Stories shared. I broke here, pivot thus. No sermons. Lived example. Hours discipline demonstrated. Dawn rituals invited. Doubts murmured. Too late. silenced by first nephew's grin, engine purring smooth, months rippled. Apprentices launched shops, kids chose trades over trouble, Javier's forge forward collective mentoring hundreds. Legacy breathed, his hands idle now, but fires kindled endure. Weave yours, transition profound, post-vision breath, palms shift outward. I extend the flame, probe service veins, family, model resolve for children. Circle, amplify allies ours. Strangers, share one truth daily. Map tangible, mentor X monthly, create Y resource. Act immediate, post-reflection, seed one ripple, text insight, post lesson learned, deepen the weave. Our variants, eternalize. Monday family forge, Thursday community spark, Sunday anonymous gifts, guides, written, forums, seeded wisdom. Track legacy ledger, ignited Zay, watched bloom. Science whispers, pro-social acts boost oxytocin circuits, purpose longevity extends, feel expansion, personal triumph multiplies, voids filled by giving's glow. Javier evolved, courage mirrored triumphs, apprentices shops networked, synchronicities wove, ex-mentee funded expansions, grandkids echoed rituals, resistance faded, self first, transcended, self through service, sustained the eternal, old self contracts, enough impact, counter, ripples infinite hour perpetual, quarterly audit, lives shifted, adjust aim, nurture givers, receive gracefully, fueling cycle, infuse heart, legacy intimate, love deepened in family hours, vast movements sparked from shared blueprints, intuit calls exhaustion, serve light, listen deeply, variance breathe, visual legacy trees, branching served souls, builders of ages sowed thus. Smiths taught apprenticey empires, healers passed salves to saviors, their legacies, time's tapestry, yours immortal. This hour doesn't conclude, it cascades. Gaze upon Javier's network thriving, flames leaping valley to peak, personal garage legends dawn, communal dawn eternal, pillars complete, 12 forges fused unbreakable, fulfillment thunders whole, symphony sealed, yet dawn breaks anew. Your sacred hour endures, legacy alive,